This morning I read about how Eric Cantor is very praiseworthy of Joe Biden. Oof, I grabbed a red flag. I'm keeping a red flag around as I read these stories. I'm like, started waving at home. There is no actual red flag. It was in my mind. Anyway, I'm like, Eric Cantor. I mean, if the Democrats come out and say, all right, we will give everything Eric Cantor wants except minus one thing, except we will not give him a stick of bubble gum that he wanted as well. Eric Cantor would come out and say, these Democrats are the worst. They've done nothing. They've done nothing to create jobs. They've done nothing to do spending cuts, etc. Right? Eric Cantor is very pleased with how the talks with Joe Biden are going. Oof, trouble, massive trouble. Okay? So that's the first thing I read. I was going to come tell you all about it. Then I start reading more. All of a sudden, new news comes in. Joe Biden saying that they will have a deal by the end of June. The end of June is not that far off. That means they're pretty close to a deal. Now, look, a deal is a good thing overall if it's a good deal, right? But the fact that the Republicans are ready to accept this and the Democrats are going in their direction. I mean, look, here. The second thing I want to tell you about the Eric Cantor thing was that in that article, as I've seen in every article, the Republicans are asking for $2 trillion, right? $2 trillion in spending cuts without any tax increases. So if you're going to get close to a deal pretty soon, and we haven't even started discussing tax increases, and they haven't, right? So that's bad news. That means it's all spending cuts, right? And now, for the first time today, there's a new article saying the Republicans would like $2.4 trillion in spending cuts. How many times have we seen this movie? You think they're going to stop at $2.4 trillion? Because the Democrats, remember, the original idea is $2 trillion, and the Democrats said, hey, you know what? We should do a clean raising of the debt ceiling, not tied to spending cuts. That's a different issue. So the Democrats originally were at zero spending cuts in relation to raising the debt ceiling, which is what we're talking about here, right? And the Republicans were at $2 trillion. The Democrats moved to $1 trillion. Joe Biden announced that a couple of weeks ago. And I told you, oh, they'll move to $2 trillion. Now, $1 trillion should be the middle. That should have been the end of the negotiations, right? Now, of course, that's not how Washington works. You think they're just going to go to $1.5 trillion? You know, go halfway and then go halfway again? Oh, then you don't know the Democrats. They're definitely going to $2 trillion. That isn't the end either, though. Once they go to $2 trillion, the Republicans will move the goalpost. I was planning to tell you all this morning, then I see the goalpost got moved right before the show. Now it's $2.4 trillion. You think that's the last time the Republicans are going to move it? They can go all the way to $4 trillion. Because the more they move the goalposts, the more Biden in the White House goes, oh, okay, let's go further to the right. So Biden's saying today that they're beginning to tackle the really hard stuff, and they're making real progress, meaning giving in more spending cuts. Now, how do I know that? Because the Republicans come out of the meeting and go, oh, no. Not only have we not touched taxes, but we will never touch taxes. No, all the rich will get to keep all their tax cuts. Now, if they do that deal, and there really is no tax increases whatsoever, nothing on the revenue side, and they do $2 trillion or however many trillion in spending cuts. I mean, we all already know the Democrats are hopeless, and the Obama White Houses in negotiations in the past have been hopeless. But that is beyond hopeless. But I'm worried that they're going in that direction. But today, also a sign of so-called strength. The Democrats came out, Senate Democrats, and said, hey, listen, we're drawing a line in the sand. They keep drawing lines in the sand, we're drawing one. I was like, whoa, okay, now we're having fun. Fantastic, right? They say, Mitch McConnell said earlier that Medicare cuts must be involved in this package. Well, Schumer, Reid, Patty Murray came out and said, oh yeah, there will be no Medicare cuts in this package. That's our line in the sand. Excited, right? Then you read into the details. And what's in the details? The devil's in the details, right? So let me tell you what they are. Schumer said, quote, no matter what we do in these budget talks, we must preserve the program in its current form, and we will not allow cuts to seniors' benefits. And I was like, okay, that's a small red flag. Why? Because he said, we will not allow cuts to benefits. We must preserve the program as it is. Now, that's a code word for we will not accept Ryan's plan to totally change the way that Medicare is performed, but we might accept other changes to it. But they said there's no benefit cuts. Oh, wait. In a second article written by Brian Beutler, Democratic Senate leaders, he explains, drew a clear line. Are you ready for this distinction now? Medicare cuts can be on the table, but not Medicare benefit cuts. Second red flag. Okay. Then, third, Democrats said, and this is from a separate article again, and a lot of people writing about this obviously today, Democrats said that any changes to Medicare would be in the form of delivery reform to avoid cutting benefits for seniors. So now look, that could be okay. We have to see what the proposal is. But I don't know what they mean by delivery reform. Is that a code word for we're going to cut the benefits but not call it cutting of the benefits? The Democrats, entirely possible. So a word of caution on everybody getting excited about the Democrats drawing a line. They're Democrats. They don't mean it, okay? And afterwards, they tell you they don't mean it. So watch out for what Biden's got cooking there. The Republicans are excited about it. That is a very bad sign. And by the way, let me tell you one other thing. There's a lot of false drama in Washington. It was the same thing with healthcare reform. Will it pass? Will it not pass? Will financial reform pass? Will it not pass? And what did I tell you all along? I said they were all going to pass. The question wasn't whether they were going to pass. The question was, what's in it? Is it tough? Is it not tough? I told you that from day one, right? And I'm telling you with this, raising the debt ceiling, are you kidding me? Wall Street and the Chamber of Commerce have already ruled on this. They said that they will definitely raise the debt ceiling no matter what. The Republicans are a wholly owned subsidiary of Wall Street. They're going to raise the debt ceiling. That's why the debt ceiling actually isn't a real problem until August. They say they're going to settle this by the end of June. Why? Because the Republicans are bluffing. They're definitely going to raise the debt ceiling. Their bosses told them to do it. Are the Democrats going to raise it? Absolutely. False drama. Why? Because the Democrats and Republicans have to play this game where at the end they take all the money from the middle class and they go, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. We just had to do the cuts to the middle class and the poor. But golly gee willikers, we still haven't gotten to the tax situation for the rich. Another day. You watch, you see, that's exactly what's going to happen.